القول قول الصوارم كي تسترد المظالم حتى الأراضي ساموا رسول أهل العزائم القول قول الصوارم
the bus, but it's not true. We park the plane, not the bus, the plane.
القول قول الصوارم كي تسترد المظالم حتى الأراضي.
You see, there is a time in every FC Mobile player's life where they are forced to make a difficult decision. Maybe you're one win away from promotion. Maybe you're one win away from FC champion. Maybe the script is beating the living daylight out of you. Your defenders have forgotten how to defend. You are on a 10 games losing streak, and suddenly you stop caring about beautiful football. You stop caring about possession, you stop caring about entertainment. All you care about is getting the win and getting out alive. That, my friends, is where Haram Ball enters the chat. Now some people call it defensive football, some people call it park the bus, and the majority call it Haram Ball or Haram football. But whether we like it or not, it works, and that's exactly why so many people still use it. The funny thing is that most players think Haram Ball is just putting 5 defenders at the back and hoping for the best. No, there's actually a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. If you do it wrong, you'll still concede goals. If you do it properly, you'll have your opponent questioning why he even opened FC Mobile today. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how Haram Ball works, how to defend properly, how to frustrate opponents, and how to hit them with deadly counterattacks when they eventually lose their patience. Let's get into it. Now before we start, let's quickly understand what Haram Ball actually is. Haram Ball is simply a style of football where your main objective is to make the game as difficult as possible for your opponent while giving yourself the highest chance of winning. A lot of players think Haram Ball is just sitting back and defending for 90 minutes, but that's not actually true. Yes, defending is a huge part of it, but the real goal is to frustrate your opponent, force mistakes, control dangerous areas of the pitch, and then punish them when the opportunity comes. You're not just trying to survive, you're trying to make your opponent suffer until they eventually break. That's what real Haram Ball is all about. Now mainly in FC Mobile, we have 2 types of Haram Ball players. Learning one of them is fair. Learning both of them should honestly be illegal because you'll become an absolute nightmare to play against. The first type is what I call defensive Haram Ball. This is the classic version that most people already know. It's the real Haram Ball. It's the less toxic version, and honestly, it's the only one I can somewhat respect. The idea is simple. You don't care about possession. You don't care about having more shots. You don't care about dominating the match. In fact, you actually want your opponent to have the ball. Most of the time, you'll finish the game with less than 30% possession, and that's completely fine. Because every second your opponent has the ball is another opportunity for them to make a mistake. When playing defensive Haram Ball, your job is to stay compact and patient. Don't rush into tackles. Don't drag your center backs everywhere. Let your CDM and midfielders do most of the work while your defensive line stays in shape. Even from kickoff, you don't aggressively chase the ball. You bring your players back, cover the dangerous spaces, and wait for your opponent to come to you. Eventually, most players become frustrated. They can't find space, they start forcing through balls, taking bad shots, attempting risky passes, and unnecessary skill moves. The moment they lose the ball, that's when you strike. Win the ball, move it forward quickly, find your striker, create a chance, and finish. That's defensive Haram Ball. You're not trying to create 10 chances. You're trying to create one good chance and take it. Then once you score, may God help your opponent, because that's when the biggest bus in your community gets parked in front of goal. You stop caring about attacking. All you care about is protecting the lead, wasting time, blocking passing lanes, and making sure your opponent never gets a clear opportunity again until the final whistle.
القول قول الصوارم كي تسترد المظالم حتى الأرض رسول أهل العزائم القول قول الصوارم كي تسترد المظالم حتى الأراضي القول قول الصوارم كي تسترد المظالم حتى الأراضي.
And honestly, as annoying as this playstyle is, I can live with it. At least this guy gives you the ball. At least he lets you attack. At least you get to play football. But this next type, this next one is pure evil. Let's talk about possession Haram Ball. Unlike defensive Haram Ball, where you give your opponent the ball and wait for mistakes, possession Haram Ball is the complete opposite. The idea is simple. If your opponent never gets the ball, how can they score? That's the entire mindset. You keep the ball for as long as possible and force your opponent to spend the whole match chasing shadows. Now here's the interesting part. This is not build-up or tiki-taka. A lot of people confuse the two, but they are completely different. In tiki-taka, you're passing the ball around to move your opponent out of position so you can create chances and attack. In possession Haram Ball, you're passing the ball around to destroy your opponent emotionally. You're not trying to create attacks immediately. You're trying to frustrate him. You're trying to make him angry. You're trying to make him start questioning why he opened FC Mobile today. So when the match starts, don't rush forward. Move the ball between your defenders, midfielders, and fullbacks. Switch play from one side to the other and stay patient. While you're doing this, pay attention to your opponent. At first they'll stay disciplined, then they'll start chasing. Then they'll start pulling players out of position. Then the emotes start coming. Eventually they become frustrated and start pressing aggressively. And that's exactly what you're waiting for. The moment their shape breaks, attack the space they've left behind. Create your chance. Score your goal and then go right back to keeping the ball. Make them run. Make them chase. Make them work for every touch of the ball. Guys, this playstyle is actually very evil. Honestly, I wasn't even sure if I should talk about this. Please don't abuse this. This is my first and hopefully last time teaching this nonsense. Be human. Have some shame. Because if you do this properly, your opponent might smash his phone before full time. You might get spammed with angry emotes. You might get reported for passive play. You might even get hate messages after the match. So if you decide to use possession Haram Ball, just know you're doing it at your own risk. Now that I've talked about defensive Haram Ball and possession Haram Ball, it doesn't even end there. Because the real monsters are the players who combine both styles in the same match. They defend when they need to defend, keep possession when they need to keep possession, and somehow make the game miserable for everyone involved. But I'm not talking about those people today. I've already said enough. Before I end this video, there's one thing I want you guys to understand. In FC Mobile, Haram Ball has never really been about defending. It's never really been about possession. It's never even been about attacking. Haram Ball is about control. Control of the ball, control of space, control of the tempo, and most importantly, control of your opponent's emotions. The moment your opponent becomes frustrated, impatient, or desperate, you've already won half the battle. That's why possession Haram Ball is the most evil version of them all. Defensive Haram Ball at least gives your opponent hope. He gets the ball, he gets possession, he gets shots, he feels like he's dominating the match even if he's losing. Possession Haram Ball takes all of that away. You keep the ball, you control the game, and sometimes your opponent barely gets a touch. Now honestly, I don't recommend abusing possession Haram Ball. Defensive Haram Ball is the one I can somewhat respect. At the end of the day, you're just defending properly, staying compact, staying patient, waiting for mistakes and punishing them. That's football. So if you really want to learn Haram Ball, learn defensive Haram Ball. Stay organized. Don't drag your defenders out of position. Let your midfielders do most of the work. Wait for mistakes and take your chances when they come. But please, leave possession Haram Ball alone. Stop back passing for 90 minutes. Stop keeping the ball for the entire match. Stop giving people 10% possession. I've even seen screenshots where opponents finished games with 3% possession. Bro, how do you even sleep after doing that to somebody? We should all try to make FC Mobile enjoyable for everyone. But if you suddenly start winning more matches after watching this video, just remember that I warned you. And that's it for today's masterclass on Haram Ball. Now I want you guys to be honest in the comments. Have you ever lost to a Haram Ball player before? Or even worse, are you a Haram Ball player yourself? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe because I've got more videos coming soon. And remember, if after watching this video you start giving people 10% possession and parking the biggest bus in your community, then that's between you and your conscience. Thank you guys for watching, and I would see you in the next one. And still your boy Gentle Joe. Peace.